So
Okay.
hi everybody, we are here with Pedro. Pedro is Brazilian. He comes from, as we say earlier, Ilha da Magia, from Florianopolis of Floripa. I don't know how you like to say it, but well, Pedro is an active contributor of Xamarin.Forms and Xamarin.Essentials. Thank you for that. And he works on, he's an MVP at Microsoft and .NET Foundation member. He's here to talk about navigating with Shell. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you for making time to be here. It's so awesome to have people from Brazil, like all Latin America here reunited. It's awesome. Thank you, Pedro, and the place is all yours.
Thank you, guys. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I hope you guys having been an amazing event so far. First of all, I'm sorry if I do some misspelling on English. It's not my primary language, but I will do my best here. And if you guys don't understand something, please let me know, and I will try to rephrase that. All right. So let's get started. Let's talk about Shell, this amazing control that was delivered by us, by the Xamarin Farm team to us, if I'm not wrong, at the Xamarin.Forms 4.0. And more specifically, I am talking about the navigation with Shell. We will take a little look on the surface area, and we will dive into some code to show some navigation services that you can use on your application. But first of all, let's introduce myself. I am Pedro Jesus from the Architect. Also, as Michaela said, I am a open source contributor. I love the open source, and the main contributions are being on the Xamarin.Essentials and Xamarin.Forms projects. And so far, I have more focus on Shell. I like to contribute in solving some bug fixes and implementation some kind of new features for us. And I'm sorry, Shane, to keep increase your backlog. Also, I like a lot of robots. So at college, at my university, with a couple of friends, I founded a team to build robots to competition. It's called NRL, and you can follow us at the Instagram with this name NRL Cefet. Okay, so let's take a real quick look at our agenda. First of all, I will talk a little bit about Shell if you don't know. After that, I will talk about the shell structure and also the navigation using shell, doing some comparison about the before shell and after shell, what we have, for example, at the master detail page. After that, we will look some code, and after that we will have questions, but I will answer questions on the code time as well. So before we talk about shell, let's think about how we develop application these days. How is the scope of the applications, how the application looks like. So the real world applications these days, it's apps with a lot of pages or with a lot of model pages, and we have the two main ways to navigate between those pages. It's most common applications use flyout menus or master detail pages menus to do navigations, also tabbed pages, even top tabs or bottom tabs page. You see that a lot. And also you can find the application that mix these approaches at the same time. And before Shell, it was a little difficult and a little hard to construct this structure on Xamarin.Forms. I probably sorry, you probably already have had to work with some application that you needed to build a master detail using the master detail page control, and that is a lot of boring code to write. All right, and Shell came to solve this thing and other things also. So let's take a real quick look at some points that Shell solved to us. Shell simplified the navigation. And I will stress this point a lot on this presentation, okay? Also, Shell has the declarative check structure to build this kind of navigation on our application. So instead of have a lot of classes to construct the master detail page, for example, these days you can use just Shell and just XAML or C# and one file to construct your your navigation structure. Sorry. Sherry also is very customizable at the cross-platform level. So today, for example, you can customize how your flyout menu will looks like using a data template for that. So you can go there and build a grid with gradient background, with icons, with other fonts and stuff like that pretty quickly and easily. If I'm not wrong, Shane is also working to bring that facility to the tabbed page. So probably in the future, we will be able to customize tabbed pages just with custom data templates as well. And for consequence about all these improvements that Shell bring to us, you can deliver applications much faster. Because we don't care about implement the navigation inside the master detail to other pages or stuff like that, to handle some context change, while ago you needed to care about if your navigation page is a tabbed page or a master detail page or a custom or content page before you navigate, do a navigation, before you perform a navigation. And today you don't need to care too much about it. So let's see how looks like the navigation before and after Shell. Here I have a sample at the left showing the structured page from the master details page. Oops, sorry. Uh, from the master details page. So first of all, you need to create a class that inherent for the master details page and instantiate your details page on there. Maybe you need to care about and put your detail page inside the navigation page. Also, you need to create a main page that will be the page that will represent your master menu or your flyout menu. For that flyout menu, you need to create a master page item that will be your model to represent how each menu item will be displayed on your master menu. And that it is a lot of boring code to write just to build a master detail page. And at the end of all this work, you just have a master detail page and you cannot navigate yet. You have to implement your own the navigation to archive that. These days we have Shell, and to build a master detail page with Shell, you just need the app Shell, and that's it. And also the Shell takes care about the navigation even inside of the flyout menu for us. So we get that for free. Very excited, all right? So let's look a little bit about the Shell structure. So here we have two screenshots that I grabbed from the Shane presentation on the .NET Conf this year. And this first one here, we have the XAML code to build this master page here, this flyout menu. And this first one here is related to this code here. So let's take a quick look on that. First of all, we have this flyout item that represents a menu item here. And you have two properties by default. It is the title and the icon. And you can use icons, image icons or font icons, if I'm not wrong, there to build our menu, how it looks like. But it's the default one. You can customize, you can perform customizations here. And inside our flyout item, we have one shell content. If you have just one shell content, that means that when I navigate to this home page, I will see just a single page there. Moving forward, we have this flyout item down here. And this flyout item is labeled as account. And here we have two tabs inside that flyout item. This means that when I go to that page, I will see a page with two bottom tabs. All right. So if I have more tabs here, I have more bottom tabs on that. And one of that tabs is titled by details naming and other one by settings name. Here I have also two menu items that will be represented as this one. And the menu items is kind of a special flyout menu item, flyout item. This you can put a command on this menu item and perform other actions, custom actions. On this one, for example, we will perform a modal navigation when the user taps on this modal page item. But you can do a lot of things. You can open a browser, you can log in or log out your user, you can do everything. Moving forward, we have other example here. Now inside that account page, and here we have the XAML code expanded for that. So here inside of our account item, our account page, we have two bottom tabs, as I said before, labeled as details and settings. Inside our details page, we have two shell contents. And those two shell contents will be rendered as top tabs, as we can see here on the right. One is the location page, and the other tab will be the customer page. And for the setting tabs, we will have just a single page there, okay? So we get this for free, we can easily tell to the Xamarin Forms if we want a bottom tab or a top tab, just following this structure right here. So it's pretty much easier. Very excited, all right? So let's talk a little bit about the shell navigation, all right? So here we have some topics for the shell navigation that I want to highlight. We have URL navigation inside of the shell. And it is just one string. So you have just one string to represent all your navigation stack. And that is pretty powerful. Imagine this scenario. You're trying to figure out why some page is crashing on a user. And from the analytics, you can have the current URL navigation from that specific crash situation. And with that URL, you can perform the same path that your user did and try to figure out where is the bug. So, it's very easy. You have a string. With that string, you have the routes and can perform some kind of investigations. Also, URL navigation, I know, is not newest. We have other MVVM frameworks that do that. Also, we have that forever in web development. But it's pretty cool that we have this right now out of the box on the Xamarin Forms. Also, it is very easy to handle with deep link. Thankfully due to this URL navigation. Because if you want to perform a deep link, you just have to create a link, a deep link link. I don't know if this is correct, this term, but you got the point, right? So that deep link can represent exactly the URL that I want to my user navigate to get to some specific page. So when the user taps on the push notification, for example, when you will render that on your platform, on your application, just grab that URL, thread that URL, perform some modifications if needed, and shall go to a sync and go be happy. Also, you can have the current navigation state of your app before you close it and you open it again in the same place. On top of my head, I can see that media players applications can take a lot of advantage on this feature. When the user closes the app and open it again, he will see the same screen that he was before and all the home page. Also, with shell navigation, we have the query parameters. This allows us to pass simple data and simple values types to other pages while we perform the navigation. So here, for example, I have my view model, deep linked page view model, and I have a query property attribute here. And I have two values here. One of these values is this name here, the name of the parameter inside the URL, and other value will be the name of the property that you want to fill up with this value, this specific value. And you can put this attribute inside your page or inside the view model of that page. So to be didactic here, when the user performs this navigation, this ID variable, this ID property here will be filled up with the value of 12. So the downside on this feature is that you cannot pass complex objects to the query parameters here on the URL. But for simple data, this works like a charm, all right? So say that let's show time. Let's look some code, right? So let me switch here to my Visual Studio real quickly. Before I dig into the code, let me show you guys how this application looks like, all right? While it's loading, let me see if the chat here. So I have the Rodolfo Souza saying that just pass a JSON, right? Yeah, but I don't know if it's possible, but from my point of view, this approach isn't the best approach to do that, because you need to perform some JSON serialization, deserialization that can be a performance hit on your application. So here is my application, and I don't know if you guys want to zoom in. If it is not good enough, please let me know that I try to zoom a little bit here. But this application is the default shell, the shell project template. You go find a new project and app shell, and you will face this application here, where I can go to the item detail. I have my flyout menu here, and I can add some values, here to add on my list. So I have my list here being updated, all right? Okay, at the first glance, this is nothing at all. Just want to make you guys know that this navigation to browse and about, I got that for free. Thanks for Shell. But other navigations, I perform that navigation. So let's take a little look up on the code, all right? So first of all, my main page is my app shell to initialize the shell. And I want to highlight something on my base view model. I used those two methods here, the init async and back async. The init async will run at the moment on the user navigates to my page. So if I needed to load some data, or if I needed to, perform some modification, some treatment on some values, I will do inside this init method here. And I accept an object as a parameter, so I can pass anything that I want. Also, I am having this back async method, and I don't know about you guys, but some projects before, I have some bad times when I have some kind of model, a model page, and I have a form inside that model, and when my user filled up all that model and press done button, I want to grab that I will perform a pop navigation, and I want to grab that data of my model navigation. And how I can archive that, it's very hard at before. But now with Shell, it's easily. I just use this method here, implemented inside my navigation services, and when my user performs a back navigation, a pop navigation, I just can grab that data, that information, and do whatever I want to do with this information. Pretty awesome, right? And let's take a look on the main part, the navigation services, all right? So here I have a navigation services, service, and I perform a lazy initialization and a singleton. So I just have one navigation services by all life cycle of my application. Okay, uh, here I have two properties. One of those properties is the shell that grabs the shell.current properties. You know that there is the shell control on my application. Also, I have my current page here because maybe I need to know, for the navigation service, I really needed to know how is my current page to set my binding context to that page. And I put this as a property because if I needed to expose this current page to other parts of my app, I just do it a public, and I can't say that is a private set. So I prevent everyone else to modify this current page outside of my navigation services. So yeah. On my constructor, I just register my hosts and assign and I subscribe it to the two events on the shell navigated event and shell navigating event. And we will look those events later on, all right? So on registry routes, I just do my route, I just register my page and view model attached on that. And I follow a pattern that I named my route with my view model name. So for example, here, my info page, the route of my info page is my info view model. So that way it's easy to do some cool stuffs with the navigation. But if you don't like this pattern, or if you cannot use this pattern because you already have the project and it will be really hard to implement this, you can do some kind of dictionary, some mapping, and use that mapping to map the page and the binding context of that page, the view model. And you can use whatever host that you want to use here. Let's look a little bit here about, let me close this one. I don't want to do spoilers. Okay, let's look this one later. So I have here my go to async method, and I accept here a string as a parameter that will be my URL, and I accept an object arg as a parameter. So I can pass object to navigations. I can pass complex objects, So now I have a full power here. Also, you can do an array of objects and pass as much objects that you want. You can put a params here at the end, and using array of objects. Also, if you want to be type safe, you can use a dictionary, a string object or string some specific type. You are on the control. You have the power, man. You just go there, man and woman. You have the power here. You just go there and use what you want to use to pass your parameters. And here I have my shell.goToAsync navigation. This is my shell property, and I perform my navigation. After my navigation, I create my view model. So let's take a real quick look here. So since my URL is my view model name, I just pass here, and I construct the entire name, the full name of my view model. So it will be at this case my project name dot view models dot my view model class, and I use some a little bit of reflection to create an instance of my view model and return it. When I return that view model, I set my binding context, my current page's binding context to my view model, and I call the initAsync method passing the arguments there to perform any whatever that I want to do with that data. All right, so let's run this app and let's debug and see how it works at real time. And also let me activate all my breakpoints so that way we can debug better. So first of all, let's add a new item on this collection, all right? So I will go here, and as you can see, I am performing a navigation here when I type on this add command, and I just call the go to async method passing my road that will be my name of new item view model. And it's a good thing to use this pattern that we can use a name of, and we are safe if you need to perform some refactoring, you know. And at this first place here, we will perform the navigation, and the onNavigating method will be called to before we complete the navigation. After that, our navigated event will be called to tell us that we already did the navigation, and here I will grab the current page. Until now, we don't have an easy way to grab the current page, all right? But I have an open PR on the repo doing some suggestions on how we can archive that. But for now, if you want to grab your current page, you just need to grab your shell.currentItem.currentItem, will be a shell section, and cast this shell section to a iShell section controller interface and grab the present page property. And this will be your current page. So as you can see here, I don't know if you guys can see it here, but trust me, it's saying new item page. So let's move on. And now I will create my view model to binding to that page. And here, as we can see, my view model name is shell presentation. That is the name of my solution, .viewModels.newItem view model. And I create that, that view model using reflection. And now I jump over here. For now, my binding context is null for my page. So I will set this binding context to my view model. And I will do the initAsync method. On this page specifically, I don't have override of the initAsync, so I don't need to look on that. So let's write something here. So now I press add, and when I press add, I will pop this page. So to pop a page on shell, you just have to do a dot dot, and it doesn't matter if it is if there is a module navigation or a normal navigation. You just do dot dot, and the shell will handle that for you. So let's go here again, because I want to show you guys about the go back thing. So here I put the dot dot or invert slash slash or the slash, and if my URL has this kind of characters, I will perform a back navigation. And you can use whatever you want to here. So now I will perform my back async method because I am going back. So I have my current page that now is my items page. So yes, as you can see here at the right side is my list of the pages. And let's go do a step. And here I have my back async method inside my items view model. And here I just do a check if my arg is an item, it's the type of item. If it isn't, I just ignore that and go there. But if it is a new item, if it's an item type, I name it that as new item, and I add that item inside my item source, my collection, and also on my data store. So this way I can grab my data on the pop navigation, on the go back navigation, and this is very, very helpful. And don't worry about these bugs here because it's just on the debug session because I'm take a while and things are a little crazy here. But I know that uh, exists application on the app stores with this approach here on my navigation services, and it works very well. I will grab the name at the end to share with you guys. Okay, move on. Here, uh, I will tap on an item inside my list, and I will perform a navigation to, okay, let's move here. I will perform a navigation to my details page, passing my item as a parameter to that page. Okay, so here I am on my details page with my values filled up. So let's take a look what I am doing on my initialize async method right here. Let's tap on the item again. Let's go here. Let's do a step in. I want this one. So on my initialize async method, I am casting these args to a item type because I already know that we will use that this object will be an item, but you know in the in the real world applications we want to do some pattern matchiness maybe here. So I filled up my properties with that values of my object, and I called the on property change on that property to update my UI, and that is it. And we have these values here. Okay, so far so good. Let's go to other example here. I have here my about page, and I will fill it up others other information here with my name and my age. And let me set a breakpoint here again. Let's move you a little bit here. Okay. And let's play here. Now we have these models, but now my model isn't an item model. It is a user object. So here right now, we have this user object as a parameter. And let's move to my initialize async method here. And here I do the same thing that I did before on the items details page. And I just grab my args parameter, cast to a user, and fill it up the properties on there and call it the on property change on that properties. And as you can see here, I have those values updated here. And last to the final one is a simple page, and I will do go back navigation, but I will go back 2 pages at once. So let's remember, I have my about page on the stack. I have that page when I show up my name and my age, and now I have this page. So I have 3 pages on this stack. And when I press this button, I move back to my about page, so it's my root page on that stack. So I ignore all of middle pages on the stack. So let's press this button. Let's go here. And to perform that is just dot dot slash dot dot. So I will navigate back 2 times. And I will execute my back async method. And my back async method will be executed on my about page. Oh, I didn't do the override. So as you can see here, my current page is about page. So if I override the back async method, this back async method will be called at my about page. And as you can see here, I am back to my about page, and that is pretty cool and it's pretty easy. The last thing I want to show this before we move to the events is, oh no, actually we will look on the event right now. I have the simple page, main page here, with a checkbox, and that is it. Just a simple page with a checkbox. And I cannot navigate out this page. I tried every time, but I am not allowed to navigate to move forward this page. The only way that I can do that, is if I check this checkbox and I am allowed to leave that page again. So I'm here and I go to the about and I'm back to browse. So how we can do that? How we can perform some kind of decisions on navigating. So let's take a look. So here I have my on-shell navigate event. And first of all, I grab my current stage of that navigation. That will be the fly one, tab 2, and my main view model. So that's saying that right now I am on my main page. And if I am on my main page, I want to do some kind of logic here. First of all, I will grab my view model of that page, and I will look at my isChecked property. And if my isChecked property is false, I will cancel the navigation. So my user isn't allowed to leave that page. Now I will check this property right here and try to navigate. And let's go here on my if. Now my isChecked is true. So since it is true, I am allowed to navigate outside of that page. So yeah, I click it too much. Oh gosh, a lot of breakpoints. So yeah, we can control this thing really easily. And here we have a little situation, all right, that is this event doesn't work with async methods. So for example, let's say that you want to perform to present a display alert to your user, asking him if he wants to leave that page. And as you know, the display alert method is a sync method. So we have the await keyword there. So the trouble on that point is when that model is presented or when the compiler gets that await code, the shell doesn't await the answer for the user. So they will ignore the answer for the user and we will perform all this method here at the end. So the navigation will occur even if the answer is false by default. So yeah, sadly we don't have that. I talked with Shane on an issue about that, and he said to me that we can. He will try to perform something on that area, if I'm not wrong. And also I have the Shane here, and I'm very glad to have here. And if you can confirm that Shane for us, I will appreciate that. And I don't know if you have if you have this. I don't know if you have this on the Maui or on the Xamarin.Forms also. Okay, guys, so far so good. Let's look at the final thing that I want to share with you. It is about to save the current state of page of the navigation, and when the user open the application again, we will start the application at that page, specific page. So let's say that I am going to my about page. Oh, I cannot navigate in. Okay, I am on my about page here, and what this does here. On my navigated method, I use the Xamarin.Essentials, the preferences API, to set a cached value on my device. And the key is last know variable, and I grab the current location dot original string. Sorry, I'm running out of time. finish it a little bit sooner. So yeah, I grabbed this original string and saved that. And to perform that clean to that startup on my last location on my own start app, what I do, I just go here and grab the last location, use the Xamarin.Essentials, and I get that key for that value and set a default as string.empty. And I check here if my last location is empty or null. If it is, I just do a return. If it isn't null, I just perform a navigation to that current state. As you can see here, I go to my go to async method, this second one here, this override one, and I grab my shell navigation state and I use the shell go to async method because we have an overload to the shell navigation state on that. And right here, I perform the navigation, I create my view model as we saw before. But here, look, my URL is bigger. You know, I have a lot of things here, so I need to clean up this URL to grab my view model name. And my view model name will be the last string. So I split 4 dashes and grab the last string, and I built my view model on that last string. Here I do some kind of delay because if you don't do that, you can have some troubles, you know, because this startup and navigation can do really fast, and you can have a current page null, and you can have trouble. So, you know, just put a little delay there just to make sure that everything is on the right place. So look here, guys, my current page is about page, and I will set my view model on that, and I will perform the initialize async method. So if I don't take, yeah, awesome, doesn't crash because I spent a while on that breakpoint. So yeah, my application start up on my about page. So to prove that, you know, let's click to the learn more. Let's do my last page and let's close the, and okay, my emulator needs to think a little bit. Let's open up my page again, and if everything works correctly, and yeah, I am on my last page. And I can perform the navigation there. You know, I have everything set up for me. So yeah, guys, so that is the code. Here's the references for the .NET Conf event and also to the GitHub on the Xamarin.Forms project. And you can find me on those links. Thank you very much. And I hope that you guys like this presentation, and I hope that this can help you to give you a chance on Shell. And I want to ask you guys on the chat before I answer questions, if you guys already used Shell on your applications, you know, or product applications, or even for you know, personal applications to try something. Just to know if you guys are trying Shell. So yeah, that's it.
Hello there. That was
Hello,
an excellent
Federico.
presentation.
Welcome back.
I think I'm blown away for all of the stuff that Shell has to offer us and the simplified way that we can navigate to all of the stuff that it has. And I'm pretty sure that deep linking is just a piece of cake using Shell. I think that the experience is excellent, and I hope that many applications will use that in the future. I believe that I saw that Shane posted something about the MAUI integration. Can you tell?
So if I'm not wrong, and Shane, please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, don't let me lie here. And the Shell will be the biggest actor on the MAUI because it's a really brilliant control that allow us to write applications much faster, and we will have a lot of goodness like the app bar spec and where we can have a title view on the shell, and you can customize the title view as we want, and we can perform a lot of customizations on the tabbed page as well. So yeah, right now I don't know too much about how shell will fit on Maui, but I am pretty sure that will be very a main thing inside of the Maui. And yeah, I'm very excited to have shell there, and that the community like shell, because it's a brilliant control. And when it was released on the 4.0, it was a very simple kind of control. You have to do a lot of extra work to archive the things, and so on. Shane, the community, increase a lot the features inside the shell, and today we have this amazing control that we can have and do a lot of stuffs easily. So yeah, it's very exciting. Excited. Oh gosh.
Excellent. And
English.
about that, there are many people here that are using Shell and are asking which are, I don't know if you use them, but which are the frameworks that do you recommend that play along with Shell? Or have you used the framework?
Oh man, this is a hard question to me, because now I think that I can do enemies, because the vanilla team, I don't like any MVVM framework on my applications. I like to use everything that Xamarin provides to me, and yeah, and do the stuffs on there, because I think we can I mean, on my point of view, the Xamarin.Forms deliver everything that I needed to do that stuffs. And I know that some scenarios on the real world is good to have MVVM framework, because on ArcTouch we work with projects that we have been using MVVM frameworks to do the applications, and we can win some extra time. But if I can choose, I choose to do from zero, because we have some wins not using a MVVM framework. You have our control of your application. You don't to take much care about the linker full, because you don't add a big stuff on your application, something like that. But if you want to use MVVM framework, you can use the Tiny MVVM, because we have a shell support on that. I think the Fresh MVVM also have a shell support on that. And Prism, I think the Shane and the Dave and the Danzigo are working together to bring that to Prism.
Excellent news.
Also.
Yeah, there,
So,
Shane,
yeah.
I thank Shane so much, because he has replied a lot and has provided us with a lot of information about Shell and Maui as well, and Tiny MVVM that he does, that it works great and coupled with Shell. So that's really awesome. And now we have 1 or 2 minutes, but I wanted to let the people know that the closure of the event is now being held in another session. I have provided the link over here. I don't know if we have any other questions to ask Pedro before we end this. Let's see.
I saw a question before from Shane. He asking if I have this. I'm sorry, guys. This project on the GitHub, and yes, I have. I will share the link on my Twitter with the events hashtag, so that way you guys can play a little bit.
Excellent. We will make sure to share that and provide that link to all the people that are watching this live. Well, I can't thank you enough for this presentation, Pedro. I really like Shell, and I can't wait to see what's going on in the future. Thank you very much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Very excited for the future. So thank you people for being here. I hope that everyone liked this presentation, and anything else that you want to know, you can ping me on the Twitter, on the social medias, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Federico, and the Xamarin Assembly team, and
Bye bye.
bye bye.